Hello everyone and welcome to the first chapter of our ESP course. In this video, we'll explore the foundations of ESP and understand what makes it different from general English. Our goal is to understand the basic concepts before moving to ESP course design in the following chapter. Today's presentation will begin with a general introduction to ESP and discuss its characteristics. Next, we'll examine the historical origins of ESP and the factors that contributed to its development. After that, we'll discuss the objectives of teaching ESP and how they contribute to learners' academic and professional success. Then we'll explore the different types of ESP and see how they are classified according to learners' needs. Let's start with the most fundamental question. What is ESP? ESP emerged because learners do not all study English for the same reasons. Some learners study English for everyday communication, while others need English to study medicine, practice law, conduct scientific research, or work in international business. As a result, teaching the same English course to every learner is often ineffective. As Hutchison and Water explain, ESP is an approach to language teaching in which all decisions about content and methodology are based on learners' reasons for learning English. This explains why ESP is first learner-centered, which means that the learner's need, goals, and future language use are the starting point of the course design. Second, ESP is goal-oriented. Learners study English to accomplish clearly defined objectives rather than simply improving their general language proficiency. Third, ESP is context-specific. The language taught reflects the academic discipline or professional environment in which learners will communicate. According to Dudley Evans and St. John, ESP has absolute and variable characteristics. The absolute characteristics are essential features found in every ESP course. First, ESP is designed to meet the specific needs of learners. In other words, every course begins with identifying why learners need English. Second, ESP uses the methodology and activities of the discipline it serves. For example, law students may analyze legal cases, while medical students work with patient reports or research articles. Third, ESP focuses on the language required for those activities, including grammar, vocabulary, language skills, discourse, and genres relevant to a particular field. Dudley Evans and St. John also describe several variable characteristics. ESP may be designed for specific disciplines such as medicine or engineering. It may use different teaching methods from general English. It is generally intended for adult learners, and it is usually designed for learners with intermediate or advanced level of English, although beginners can also study ESP. And ESP developed in response to several important changes that took place during the 20th century. The first factor was World War II, which was followed by rapid development in science, technology, and international communication. As English became the dominant language of research and international business, professionals needed English for specific purposes rather than for general communication. Another important factor was the oil crisis of the 70s, which increased international cooperation and strengthened the role of English in technical and professional fields. At the same time, linguists became interested in how language is used in real situations, showing that each profession has its own vocabulary and communication style. Finally, education became more learner-centered, encouraging teachers to design courses based on learners' goals and needs. Together, these developments led to the emergence of English for specific purposes. So the main goal of ESP is to help learners communicate effectively in their academic or professional fields. According to Bastrickman, ESP has 5 main objectives. The first is to develop subject-specific language, including the vocabulary used in a particular discipline. The second is to prepare learners for target performance, enabling them to complete real-life academic or workplace tasks. The third objective is to provide underlying knowledge, helping learners understand the concepts related to their field. ESP also aims to develop strategic competence, allowing learners to solve communication problems effectively. And finally, it promotes critical awareness, encouraging learners to understand the cultural and the professional context in which communication takes place. As you can see, ESP is not only learning English, it is about learning to use English effectively in specific situations. And after discussing the objectives of ESP, let's move to the final part of this chapter, the different types of ESP. ESP is not limited to one field, instead it covers a wide range of academic and professional disciplines. According to Hutcherson and Waters, ESP can be divided into 3 broad branches: English for Science and Technology, English for Business and Economics, and English for Social Studies. Each branch reflects the specific language needs of learners in different disciplines. These branches are further divided into 2 main categories. The first is English for Academic Purposes, or EAP. This type of ESP prepares learners to study in academic settings. It focuses on skills such as reading academic texts, writing essays or research papers, listening to lectures, and participating in seminars. The second is English for Occupational Purposes, or EOP. This type prepares learners to communicate effectively in their workplace. It develops the language needed for professional tasks such as writing reports, participating in meetings, or interacting with clients. Although these branches serve different learners, they all have one thing in common: they are designed to meet specific language needs. So I hope this presentation has given you a clear understanding of the foundations of ESP and why ESP has become such an important approach in language teaching. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to leave your questions in the comment below. Until next time, take care.